We are checking in with local students for a special discussion for Black History Month. Here they are right here. Thanks to all of you for coming in. I'm going to give you a brief introduction for a moment. Tristan Patton is from Carman Ainsworth High School, where he's a freshman mentor, member of the African American Student Association, and treasurer for the class of 2027. Callie Lloyd-Jones, a senior from Powers Catholic High School, is graduating with honors and balances AP and college level classes. She's also a tennis champ and community volunteer. And Aisha Little is a senior at Saginaw United High School and the first student member of her school's Board of Education. She's also a singer at many local events. Thanks to all of you for coming in today.
Yep, no problem.
All right, let's start with you, Callie. What do you plan to do after high school?
I plan on going to Marian University, pursuing a degree in mechanical engineering, and also playing collegiate tennis.
All right, that sounds amazing. Tristan?
I plan on going to seminary school and becoming a preacher.
That's also amazing. Aisha?
I'm attending Eastern Michigan this fall to major in criminal justice to pursue my dreams of becoming a prosecutor.
Wow, three outstanding things that you guys are pursuing, and it's so uplifting for us as adults. So I am wondering, what are some of the good things that you are doing in your communities right now? Tristan, let's start with you.
Well, as of right now, just in my school alone, we are planning a AP African American Studies forum. It's going to be 2 days. The first day will be during our advisory on Tuesday, which will be the 9th and 10th graders, and it's going to be featuring things about the class and things central to being a Black student at Carman Ainsworth. Then the next day, we're juicing things up. We're talking to our 11th and 12th graders, and this is strictly about the culture. We're talking about protest, hip-hop, all lives matter versus Black lives matter, and things of that nature.
Yeah, and it helps educate other people, too.
Most definitely.
Aisha, what's going on with you? What are you doing in your community?
Well, since I sit on the Board of Education, how that works is it's me and then another classmate of mine. What we do is we sit on the board, and so we're voices for the student body. So anything that the students need, we take that to our board meetings every Wednesday, and we do that. So like if they want a certain place for prom, or if they wanted to like paint senior parking spots or decorate the grad caps, or if they needed more school supplies, or if we wanted more funding for field trips or things like that, that's my job to talk to the students, and then I go back and I do it to the board. And then a few months ago, I sat on a panel and I talked about gun violence to elementary students, because you know it starts young and then it builds up. So yes. We talked to the kids, and I sat with the governor, I sat with the chief of police, and we talked to the kids about how, since their minds are so young and easily infiltrated, how they don't have to be so convinced to do the bad things, so that when they're my age, they can be all right.
That is absolutely a spectacular thing to be doing. Both of you are listening and you're acting in your communities. Callie?
So what we do is we do a lot of volunteering. Me and a lot of my friends go down to like the Oaks at Woodfield and Grimpling, or even some of the soup kitchens in Flint, and we just volunteer and help out and bring awareness to a lot of those events. And along with that, at school, we fundraise money and clothing for the kids, so that way during Christmas season and Thanksgiving season, they can have a holiday too.
It is so refreshing for us as adults to know the good things you are doing in our communities. So we appreciate everything you're doing, and I'm sure your parents are a strong support system there. So now I'm going to turn things in a different direction. I'm going to ask all of you, and I'll start with you, Callie. What do you think are the biggest challenges you as an African American student or as a young person face right now?
I feel as though there's a lot of lack of representation that I face. I don't see a lot of teachers that look like me coming from private school and then living in a predominantly white city along with that. And then also a lot of my mentors are not like, they don't come from similar backgrounds as I do.
Okay, and do you find that that's an issue sometimes? Do people understand you?
Sometimes they do, because I play tennis, so like they understand those problems, and then like along with my classes, they understand that those are challenging, but then they don't realize that as a Black student, I have more challenges based on how I have to represent myself.
Thank you for sharing that. Aisha, what do you see as a challenge right now in our communities?
Honestly, just piggybacking off what Callie said, I think it's about the representation. You know, a lot of like as Black kids, we learn because we grow up and we see people that look like us. And so, you know, that's how we learn. You know, like a lot of big influences in my life are like Whitney Houston and Beyonce and things like that. And it's because I saw those women who look like me, and I said that I can do what they do because I look like them and I sound like them and I can act like them and I can walk like them and I can talk like them. But when there is so little representation, especially for the younger kids. They grow up and they don't know what to be, or they don't know who to look at, because we don't have a lot of, especially attending PWIs. I went to a PWI for my middle school years, and I had no black teachers, and so that also, I feel like it also causes kids to lose their self, because they just feel like in order to fit in, they have to act like the other kids, because they don't see anybody around who has hair like them, or who has noses as big as theirs, or lips as big as theirs, and things like that.
You are setting an example because people are going to look up to you. Tristan.
I believe the same thing as them. I believe that representation truly matters. Here at CA, we only have about 3 African American teachers, period. Only one of them is a man. Black men in education is a thing that really needs to be stressed. A lot of our black boys today are being bound to addictions with things like marijuana, things of gun violence, and stuff like that. And if they see a black man who has made it past those same issues, they can be inspired to do it themselves.
You guys make me, I've got goosebumps, and the fact that you are being so honest and sharing with everyone what these challenges are is very enlightening, and hopefully people will understand it and hear it. So now I'm going to turn the other direction. I'm going to say, do you have hope for the future right now? Tristan, let's start with you.
I do, but I have hope if the role model changes. The role model, especially, I came into middle school in 2021 fully. Since that time, I've seen the role model slowly change from men of power to people like NBA Youngboy, to people like Sexy Red, to Natalie Nunn. When the role model changes, our kids will change, because they don't see the people with the money and the power acting a fool everywhere they go.
That's, I'm taking note of that. And Callie, what would you have to say? Do you have hope that as you step forward as a role model, that there is hope?
I do have hope. As long as we set our minds to our goals, we can accomplish anything we want. But along with that, we do need good role models. I can only look up so far to someone who looks like me, but then at the end of that day, I have to be the role model for everyone else.
Very, very true. I try to aspire to that. And Aisha?
Yeah, I agree 100% to what they said. I do have hope for the future, but like he said, the role models have to change. I feel like when we were growing up, we looked up to people like Barack Obama, being the first black family in a White House and all things like that. And it just depends on who is setting the example for the kids. And if we have no one instilling those good things in our life, then the kids won't do that. Because I feel like I have so many good black men and women in my life that teach me things like Arshan Baldwin and Eric Gordon and Jordan Edwards, and my mom and my dad and all of that. And some kids don't have that. So when they get on social media and the people that they look up to and the things that they see, kids are easily infiltrated, like I said. So I have hope for the future, as long as we have people that are willing to show the kids the good side of things.
Are the 3 of you willing, as we close our conversation, to carry that torch and set an example for the rest of your colleagues and the kids who are coming up after you?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Of course.
All right. We thank you so very much, Callie, Tristan, Aisha. We appreciate you sharing and being very honest with us.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank
no
you.
problem.
And keep going. Do good things.
Most definitely.